What to expect from GTA 6 gunplay? Alright, let's get into it.
So I'm
No
expecting Gunplay
further
in
ado.
GTA 6 to be massively evolved, and if we take a proper look at some of the small glimpses we've seen in the trailers and line that up with the overall direction Rockstar seems to be heading in, there are some clear signs there. By the end of this video, I think we'll have a pretty solid idea of where to expect Gunplay to be heading for GTA 6. And if you enjoy this one, feel free to like and subscribe, and let's jump in. So before we start comparing anything or getting ahead of ourselves, it makes sense to just look at what the trailers are actually showing us, because we haven't seen full extended gameplay of this yet, but there are a few moments in the trailers that tell you quite a lot if you actually just slow them down and pay attention, and there are two clear ones that stand out. So the first is where Lucia lifts the gun during the robbery scene, and the second is where Jason fires out of the car window in trailer 2. Neither of these are long clips, we only literally get a few seconds, but even in just those few seconds, you can already see a difference in how the characters handle the weapons. So when Lucia brings the gun up, it doesn't look like it just snaps it into an aiming position. There's transition there, her body adjusts, and it looks like an animation that's been thought through rather than just triggered. And at the same time, when Jason's in the car and he fires out.
But it also does look like a cutscene animation though, it doesn't look like a gameplay one. This probably is a gameplay one, or even a cutscene too. I can't really tell.
Steady, like it's locked in place. His arm actually moves with it. His upper body reacts slightly, and it looks like something with force behind it rather than just a clean shooting animation. And it's small details where Rockstar usually hides the real upgrades. But overall, the trailer gives off a very different vibe compared to GTA 5. Everything feels more immersive. The animations don't look like they're snapping into position. They look like they're flowing into place. Like the character's actually committing to the movement rather than instantly switching states. And that might sound minor, but it just changes how the whole thing feels. Without seeing the extended gunfights, you can already tell that they've put more thought into how weapons handle visually. And I don't think it's going to feel arcade. It seems a lot more grounded. And we're not talking about a completely different system. We're talking about a refinement, about things looking like they exist properly inside the world rather than sitting on top of it. And if that's what they're showing in even these short little clips, it's a good sign of how it might feel when we actually get to control it. And if we really want to understand where this is likely heading, we don't actually even need new gameplay footage. We just need to look at what Rockstar's already done and how they've evolved the gunplay systems. So for GTA 5, it was just really quick and responsive, and you could press aim and just lock on immediately, and you could move and reposition quite quickly. And it did exactly what you wanted it to do without any hesitation. And I think it just
pretty much
GTA 5.
I'm very curious as to how they're going to improve it for 6. But then again, it's not even really something you can look at and like quantify. Not quantify, is that the proper word? No. It's not something you can even look at and say, hey, it's better. I do get what he was saying though with the animations. As in, there's some sort of force or recoil from shooting a gun, so your arms and your body would adjust because of the force of you shooting the gun and the gases, compression, blah blah blah, how guns actually work. But I feel like you wouldn't be able to like really feel it until it's in front of you, so you can't even really say before release.
The tone of that was chaotic and exaggerated, and the gunplay just matched that, to be fair. And it was quite efficient. And I think when online kicked in and you got loads of people, you want it to be quick, rapid and responsive. And it was just perfect for the type of game that GTA 5 was. But Red Dead 2, it did feel noticeably different. It wasn't clunky, but it was deliberate. So when you aimed, you could see the character physically settling into the position. And when you fired, the recoil traveled through the body instead of just vibrating the camera. So when you turned or adjusted your stance, there was a sense that the character had weight behind them. And the shift, it just wasn't random. Rockstar clearly leaned into that more immersion and physical presence rather than that pure responsiveness. Now for GTA 6, this is going to be Rockstar's first major title since that evolution's happened, and it wouldn't make sense for them to build all of that realism into Red Dead 2 and then just abandon it. When you look at GTA 6's tone visually, it does already feel a lot more grounded than GTA 5 ever did. And the characters move differently, the world just feels a lot more detailed. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be an exact replica of Red Dead Redemption 2, but Red Dead Redemption 2...
In fact, it shouldn't be an exact replica, it should be even better. I'm just now getting a good look at these palm trees. This looks just like how they do in real life. And I had one at the back of the house, but we chopped that down because it was too big.
So it's one of the things that we really need to keep a close eye on. So the logical isn't that GTA 6 is going to take backward steps. I think it's going to build on what Red Dead 2 established, and I think it's just going to modernise it for a more faster urban setting, and I think that's going to be the perfect balance for this evolution. So another thing worth paying attention to is how the weapons appear to exist in the world rather than just being attached to the character's body. In GTA 5, when you were aiming, the weapon just felt stable and locked in, and it did the job, but it just didn't feel like a real object with force behind it. It just felt really functional. And from what we've seen in 6, even in those little short clips, there's subtle physical reaction that just wasn't noticeable before. So when Jason fires, you can see slight movement through his shoulder and arm. And when Lucia lifts the gun, it feels like a committed motion rather than a snap into place. And those are small visual cues, but they...
Oh, so there's like some fluidity to the animation, like it slowly transitions and there's a little movement in the arms, movement in the body, as opposed to previous games where it's just like, oh, GTA 4 or San Andreas, I pull out my gun, it's like, the animation is static. It's just like, whoop. So it's like it's glued onto the player, whereas the newer games, i.e. GTA 6, judging off of the animations that we're seeing on the site, because obviously we don't have the game in hand yet, there's some fluidity you can see based on the movement and how the body reacts to holding the gun. It's its own separate entity, whereas the previous games, it's kind of like, oop, the gun is just like stuck. It's like a part of you. More fluidity in the physics of handling the weapons. I guess that's what he's talking about. That's the impression I'm getting from what he's saying.
Gunplay just seems like it's going to be really immersive, not only because of mechanics, but because of presentation as well. And if firing a weapon looks like it's got recoil and weight behind it, you're going to feel that before you even press the trigger. And Rockstar are known for refining all these details, and it's all these small details coming together that make these systems so amazing. So I think the big difference in GTA 6 is not going to be massively radical. It may just be simple, that every weapon is just going to feel more grounded and more connected to the character using it. And that alone just makes Gunplay feel a lot more intense. So movement as well during combat, I think, is what separates something from feeling arcade and something that can feel really immersive. Again, in GTA 5, you could reposition very quickly and the movement felt light and efficient. It worked well, but it didn't always feel like the character was like physically anchored in the environment. And GTA 6 footage just suggests the opposite of that, in my opinion. More similar to Red Dead, the characters look planted. When they adjust their stance, it doesn't just look like a snap, it looks like a shift. And when they move or turn, there appears to be momentum behind it rather than just instant changes of direction. And I think that kind of commitment to movement changes the tone of combat without drastically altering it. And if the world itself feels more detailed and realistic, then the characters inside it need to reflect that same level of realism, otherwise it's going to break immersion. And Rockstar's already experimented with grounded movement in Red Dead 2. GTA 6 definitely looks like it's carrying that forward into the modern setting. And I think the responsiveness, adding more of that physical presence. And again, it's about refinement, not complete reinvention. So you can't really talk about the gunplay on it.
Okay, so where it pertains to combat, to GTA didn't really have much like combos or anything like that. I think in San Andreas you could like learn different fighting styles. If I remember correctly, CJ's animation would be different. But in 5, it felt pretty lackluster. Not the in terms of like the amount of different moves you could pull. I know it's not a wrestling game, but I really do hope they expand on the fighting styles. I want to be able to grapple people, flip them upside down. It's not WWE, I know that, but it would be cool to see them expand the fighting styles. And I'm guessing they will.
In GTA, because it's never just about the shooting, it's about what's happening around you when you're doing that shooting. And I think GTA 6 already feels different in that regard. And from what we've seen in the trailers, the world already just looks way more alive, and not just like a backdrop waiting for you to start something. It just feels something that's already in motion without you. And if that's the case, any combat that does break out is automatically going to feel way more intense. In GTA 5, the gunfights just felt contained. You'd trigger a mission, cause some chaos and just clear the enemies that were in front of you, and everything would just reset. And it was just a system doing its job. But in GTA 6, the world really seems like it's going to be so reactive and so dense. And firing a weapon isn't just going to be you versus enemies. It's going to disrupt that actual living, breathing world. And it's
exactly, with all the NPCs seeing You know, I can't even like put into words what might be like, but
It's going to be amazing to see how all the NPCs react and how everything escalates and how everything unfolds around you when you're causing that chaos. And this is going to change the tone completely. And I don't think the mechanics are going to be massively different. The whole context around it is. And context is what makes something feel heavier without even having to touch the controls. So at the same time, it's important to not over-expect things. The GTA 6 isn't going to suddenly become a hardcore military simulation like a COD level shooting. I don't think it's going to become overly technical. I think Rockstar is still going to design it to be really accessible. I still think you're going to have your basic aim, take cover, and you'll be able to jump into the chaos quite quickly. I think the core structure is going to remain the same. I don't think the difference is going to be in the complexity. It's going to be in just the feel and how the animations transition, how the recoil is presented, how characters carry weapons when they're not firing, and how the world reacts around you, most importantly. And Rockstar doesn't usually reinvent everything at once. They refine and tighten, and then they evolve systems so everything feels more cohesive in the world that they're building. And this really looks like the direction that it's going in. So when you step back and look at everything together, the character animations, the environmental density, the way the weapons seem to be handled and the pacing, the biggest shift might not even be mechanical at all, it just might be tonal. GTA 5 leading into exaggeration and GTA 6 already feels a lot more grounded and the world just looks a lot more believable, the characters feel more natural.
Yep.
And when the tone of a game shifts, the gunplay is going to shift with it. And gunplay that feels overly light or arcade, I don't think is going to fit into this world that Rockstar are building. And I'm not saying it's going to be an exact replica of Red Dead 2, and I definitely don't think it'll be as slow as Red Dead 2. I think it's going to be that perfect balance. So even without seeing the gameplay, the direction definitely seems clear. And the systems are still going to be fully GTA, but I think it's just evolving to match this more slower pace, more immersion and more realism, not a complete overhaul and not a completely different game, just more refined, more physical, more immersive. That's what progression actually looks like. There we go, I hope you enjoyed the video. It's going to be really amazing to see the evolution of the gunplay system for GTA 6, along with the evolution of all of the other systems that we've got coming as well. But I think overall, we're just going to get a real grounded, weighty experience when it comes to the gunplay. I think each weapon's going to feel different. I think we're going to get that amazing recoil. I think the animations are going to run through the character's body, the way they carry the weapons, the way they store them away.
And then the gore aspect of it too, when you get shot at, like, will we see chunks of flesh? Will we see like body parts ripped open? The gore is really important to me. I wonder if we'll have chainsaws as a weapon. You just like cut them, because Doom Eternal had that. They had like a system designed for gore. I'm gonna look at that when I'm done recording this. It was really good. I have that game in my Steam library and I haven't played it yet. I barely even played Doom 2016.
Really amazing. And I think we're going to get an incredible evolution of the gunplay systems that Rockstar have been building over time. But still with the ability to jump in and cause some chaos, but with a lot more consequences. But let me know in the comments, what are you expecting from the gunplay from this game? Do you like the way it was dealt with in Red Dead Redemption 2? Do you like maintaining your weapons? Do you like the different weight and feel of the guns? If you do enjoy the video, feel free to like and subscribe. You can catch me on the socials as well. X, TikTok and Instagram. And on X, it's Rockstation on X. And a big thank you for 12,000 followers over there. I've got plenty more videos on the way, leading up to when we finally get some news from Rockstar this summer. And I'll see you for the next one.
All right, will GTA 6 rival Hollywood? Can I add this to my... hold on. Yeah, we'll look into this as well. Okay, content just be falling in my lap. Let me just add this to my thing real quick. I don't even want to let it play. Save to watch later. All right, yeah, so that's me. Let me just go back real quick. Pause this. See what the comments are saying. I don't really have too much to say on this. We'll know when we actually feel it. This game is going to be amazing. I can't expletive wait. I hope it's so like Red Dead. RDR2 means meets GTA 4 sounds better. The further from 5, the better. Consider how detailed the guns look so far. I really hope they bring back that feature of RDR2 where we could press R2 to look at our guns up close and move them around a bit and to clean them. Yeah, I think they should bring that back. I will say though, the models in GTA Online do look pretty good. Like, I'll be in first person, even on PS4. I'll be in first person. I'm looking at the model. I'm like, wow, this looks good. But I mean, I guess it makes sense they put more effort into the guns, seeing as they don't really have to rig them as much as they do like the character models. So naturally, more work is going to go into them, and they're smaller too, so it's less work. But they do look good, even on PS4. Hopefully, no auto aim and no player blimp on map, just your own. You know, yeah, we can turn it off, but I imagine if they like turn that off though, like they don't allow us to use that. That would be very interesting. Yeah, I think that's it for the comments really. Yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed. If you made it this far, comment, like, share, subscribe. My socials are also in the description, TikTok and Instagram, and Discord if you're into those. Yeah, and I will see y'all in the next one. Goodbye.